Rise as you already have, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Do we have a roll call, please?
Moore. Muda.
Here.
Prieto.
Here.
Spitali.
Here.
Tyler. Warple.
Here.
Button.
Here. Let the record reflect that there are 5 present in chambers, 1 virtually, and 1 absent. Next item on the agenda in your packet, this meeting, you should have received a copy of the meeting minutes for
So moved.
August 21st.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Moore. Muda.
Yes.
Prieto.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Warple.
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries, 7 present and 1 absent. Next item on the agenda is a report on the work study session. We had a very short study session immediately prior to this meeting discussing agenda items. No final decisions were made. Next item is funding. Our city controller is not present, so we're going to skip item 6. Item 7 is matter from mayor, council, or other departments. Anyone would like to address the board this time? Do you want to address the board, Councilman, or do you want to wait for public expression?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
I have another meeting to go to at the Legion, but I thought I'd review, and by the way, Forest Avenue from Lawndale, I originally asked for Coolidge. Well, I originally asked for 173rd, but Lawndale to Coolidge looks really great, and thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I did have one call, a lady that was not happy because it involved trees, that we took some trees out. They never seem to call with good news, like the street looks really nice and the curbs look nice and all that. But it was 2 blocks. So actually what I wanted to talk about is overlays, Tapper 173rd to 176th, and what's the status of that. And Mulberry, I've got a backup plan. Calumet Avenue, I originally asked for Calumet Avenue to Columbia. That's a good stretch. So actually, were the streets really bad, and I mean like driving on the moon bad, is to Tapper. Tapper, from Calumet to Tapper is really bad. So that I'm I'm re-asking, assuming that engineering hasn't been done already, because that's how it used to be. We used to do engineering, and that would be anywhere from sometimes 200 grand, depending on the length of the project. So hopefully, if you could readjust that to at least to Tapper, from Calumet to Tapper, that would be adequate for me. And then I won't even get into ornamental lighting, because by ordinance, I noticed that we're supposed to pay for ornamental lighting and all that. And by with Chicago making new plans for a boat, I don't know where it's at, but it's going to be so that the pie is going to get even smaller. So ideally, I'd like to, that's my issue though, because by ordinance it says we're supposed to be responsible for ornamental lighting, and everybody wants ornamental lighting. But anyway, for getting back to the overlays, if you can adjust that, that would be great from Calumet to Tapper instead of Calumet to Columbia
Okay.
on Mulberry. Okay, so that's.
So we did say that if more money became available for resurfacing, we'd do what we could this year. And so far, I really need to talk to Megan and see what sort of money we have available, if we can get any more work done.
Yeah.
Sort of running out of time this year, but we had $1 million and we spread it among the 6 districts.
Yes, and I also want to thank everybody for, and especially Mr. Ripe, for contributing to the pedestrian bridge on Calumet and River Drive. That was really cool. And we did the inaugural walkover. July, it was right after the 4th of July, but the date escapes me. But that was really cool. And is it going to have different lights depending on the season?
Yeah, so we're waiting on the lighting controller. The lighting controller is in some suburb of Chicago. There's some modifications that have to be made, so that's hopefully that'll be installed this month. And then next week, we expect them to put the signs on the bridge.
Oh,
The City of Hammond, Little Calumet River Trail signs that will be on both sides of the bridge.
nice.
We met with I met with the sign manufacturer, Landmark Signs in Chesterton, a week or so ago, and so they look really good. They're just waiting for a time to put those up. And then, there's a banner fabric that'll go on the mesh panels.
Oh, cool.
And so that's still in the works.
Okay, that's all I have, so.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. President,
Councilman Werpel.
more as a public service note, but to thank the board yet again, Oxbow Road is open as of today. And some genius decided while it was under construction to throw a bathtub out there where the parking lot was. And I was half tempted to put one of them leaf dummies in there and put flowers around it and make it a flower pot out there. But these people complain about not, the conditions of the roads, and then now they've complained to everything's under construction, and I would rather see people complaining about construction than I would the conditions of the road. So can you explain what's going to happen on the other end of that real quick? Because I do know it's milled by the industrial park, but isn't Pine Avenue got something to do with the entrance on that?
So we still have to mill and resurface in front of all the businesses along.
It's milled, I saw, so I mean, it's just got to be resurfaced.
So, true.
Yeah.
Then there's a couple of segments of curb that has to be replaced in front of the 2 hotels that are there, the Motel 6, and yeah. So there's a long segment of curb that has to be replaced, and then there's two pretty big, or almost 3. There's 3 segments of full depth patching that'll have to happen. So they'll bring the milling machine in and dig out all of the asphalt to the subgrade, and then reinstall asphalt. They'll do that under flagging operations. So traffic will still be allowed to go through. But we get to right where it starts to turn south, and that's where we stop with our resurfacing. We're not going all the way down to the traffic signal.
Now, I didn't know, was the state picking up the entrance there, or how's that working? Because I know Klein's kind of closed right there, but I thought I read somewhere where the state was going to fix the entrance over there or something.
Yeah, the state intends on closing that 179th entrance to do work as
Can
part
you
of their
repeat that?
Klein Avenue
The
project.
state is, it's like the state is, it's not the city of Hammond doing it, it's the state, right?
It's the Indiana Department of Transportation.
Like when the railroads closed the railroad tracks?
Through the entire city. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. It's DOT that's closing that intersection. Yep.
But again, it looks great, and I'm assuming it's going to stay open regardless of what they're doing, right?
Well, what we are doing, what the city is doing, it will stay open to traffic. When the state switches their work that they're doing on Klein Avenue, it will close for a period of time.
Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. President,
Commissioner Muda.
I wanted to inform the board, I am pleased to announce that the Hammond Sanitary District has agreed to cover the cost of a sewer betterment in downtown Hammond. There is a particular sewer near Russell Street which is in poor condition and must be replaced in accordance with the NICD project. The Hammond Sanitary District has agreed to cover the cost. It is for $121,104.42. So that's very good news. We were requested to fund the project, and we are. So just wanted to let the board know that that's happening.
Thank you, Commissioner Muda. I appreciate that. Okay, any other matters from the mayor, council, or other departments? Okay, old business, any old business? Okay, new business, item A is a funding allocation for Safe Streets and Roads for All for professional services with American Structure Point in the amount of $20,120. Motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Prieto, seconded by Councilman Spitali. Any discussion on the motion? The City of Hammond received an $80,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation to do Safe Streets and Roads for All, primarily studying those areas that are congested as it relates to arrival and dismissal of schools. But we will look at the greater city to try to accomplish a Vision Zero policy for keeping our roads and streets safe. This represents, the $20,120 represents 20% match as required by the grant agreement. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion?
Moore, Muda,
Yes.
Prieto,
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Warple,
Yes.
Button.
Yes. Motion carries 6 present and 1 absent. Next item is item B, funding allocation, Home and Avenue reconstruction, banner for fence with Legacy Sign Group in the amount of $22,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Muda. Is there seconded by Councilman Spitali? Thank you. Is there any discussion? So this is to place a banner on a proposed fence around what was formerly the Goldblatt's site until that development starts going forward. We just want to sort of beautify the downtown in a better way. So that's the intent. The fence will, we've asked the contractor, Reith Riley, for a cost to put a temporary fence up for that purpose, so that'll come at a later time. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Moore, Muda,
Yes.
Prieto,
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Warple.
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 6 present and 1 absent. Next, I did have one additional new business item that the board should have received today. It is funding allocation for Clark Field Engineering Design during construction with Abbenmarsh in the amount of $10,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Muda. Is there a second?
Second.
Yes.
Thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Prieto.
I said yes. You said
Quick on the draw over here. Any discussion? So this is just a budgetary amount that should cover the cost of doing any sort of engineering work in terms of design during the construction process, which would include review of shop drawings, requests for information from the contractor that the construction engineering firm cannot handle, possible change in design as a result of unforeseen conditions. Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Moore, Muda,
Yes.
Prieto,
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Warple,
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries, 6 present and 1 absent. Last item on the agenda is public expression. Councilman Emerson signed in. We took his comments earlier. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Capital Improvements Board at this time? Anyone wishing to make a comment? Thank you. Hearing none, our next regularly scheduled meeting for the the Capital Improvements Board, it would be September 18th. So if there's nothing further, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.